More English key conventions. This week we're going to be having a look at articles. Okay, so what are the key conventions of articles? Well, they tackle or explore ideas arising from newsworthy events or topical issues. They share similarities with texts that are more argumentative or persuasive, and there's a video coming up on argumentative writing, but may be more exploratory in nature. Okay, it's going to demonstrate an understanding or show authority about the topic in question. It could provide some background information for that non-expert. Okay, tenses. Okay, present ideas in the present tense to explain the current situation. Okay, but may use the past tense to fill in that contextual detail. So maybe some of that background information, or will also have that future or modal forms to anticipate what will happen or to anticipate future developments, normally at the end of the text, usually written in the first person, but maybe less personal than persuasive texts. So that's kind of the theory, but let's go in and see what it's all about. So why do I have to study our key conventions? Guys, you've seen in the other videos, I've spoken to you about how important those key conventions are. Okay, it's because you might be asked to write in the format of an article or a newspaper or a magazine or a blog. So if you're asked to write in that text type, it might be important. Okay, even when you're doing analysis, it's going to be very, very important. But whatever format you need to make sure you understand the overall structure. Okay, so you need to have things like headings and subheadings. Okay, and that your information is divided into sections. You're thinking about all of these different things that you've got to include in the writing of your text. The content is important, but the outside the structure, it's those key conventions that basically highlight those ideas for you. So for example, placing your information, your who, what, why, when, the 5 W's, okay, kind of at that opening of the articles, you're asking questions, so your audience, they know what they're looking for in those initial 2 paragraphs. Your body paragraphs, okay, are going to have witness accounts, are going to give more details, okay? And you're going to end the paragraph or end your text with something that is going to happen in the future. You're also going to use a mixture of direct and indirect speech. So we're going to have a look at some of those, and I chose an article just randomly as we go ahead. But, okay, normally they're going to tackle or explore ideas arising from newsworthy events. Now, one of the most newsworthy events, around about this time has obviously been that sub that went missing, okay, we found, obviously, you guys now know that we found the sub. But obviously, these are all newsworthy events. Okay, so some firefighter going missing in the Channel, some traitor in the US National Guard, or basically maybe someone being stabbed at a London hospital. That was fortunate. Okay, so these are all kind of newsworthy events. But we also got to think about things that, what topical issues are, okay? So an example of a topical issue is kind of why kids are smarter. Study reveals explanation for faster learning, okay? And this is the article that I went looking for is, are the kids smarter than the teacher, okay? And that is the question to ask. Are you smarter than your teachers? So here is basically the article. So we said that it might share similarities with texts that argue or persuade. So we're going to look to see if there's any argumentative or persuasive effects in this text. Okay, but maybe more exploratory in nature. So maybe this is exploring ideas. Okay, so let's have a read of the text. If you've ever thought your children in elementary school were smarter than you, or at least quicker at taking up new skills and knowledge, new research published in the journal Current Biology confirms that you were correct. According to a new study, there are differences in the brain messenger GABA between kids and adults, which may explain why kids often seem to be more capable of learning and retaining new information. So it's exploring the idea of basically, are the kids smarter than the adults? Okay, images. So here basically is some of the evidence which basically shows that yes, you know, the children are smarter than the adults. Okay, but you don't have to worry about this. Okay, your focus is purely on the text. You don't have to worry about a layout or a design. So you don't have to kind of write your text into any sort of columns. You don't have to add any pictures. Okay, you stay focused just on the text. Okay, it's also going to show an understanding, okay, or an authority about the topic. Okay, so here we've got a wonderful example by Takeo Watanabe of Brown University. Okay, again, it's that direct speech. Remember, these are all things that basically you would expect to find in a piece of text. Our results show that children of elementary school age can learn more items within a given period of time than adults, making learning more efficient in children. Okay. Or basically, again, showing that understanding. According to the study, children experienced a rapid increase in GABA during visual training, which lasted even after the training ended. In contrast, GABA concentrations in adults remained constant during training. These findings suggest that children's brains are more responsive to training, allowing them to quickly and efficiently consolidate new learning. So it seems the kids are smarter. Okay. Provide explanatory or background information for the non-expert. Okay, so we've heard this GABA. What is GABA? Well, it's gamma aminobutyric acid. I'm the English teacher, not the physics or science teacher. They could probably say it better. But what is GABA? So it's an inhibitory neurotransmitter. It lessens a nerve cell's ability to receive, create, or send chemical messages to other nerve cells. Okay, again, that sounds like something for the science biology teacher. The study examined visual learning in elementary school-age children and adults using behavioral state-of-the-art neuroimaging techniques. It found that visual learning triggered an increase of GABA in children's visual cortex, the brain area that processes visual. This doesn't sound like it's really kind of helping the non-expert. That may be, because the audience is always going to be really important. Okay, I got this article from the SciTech Daily. I mean, look at their website. You know, it's very straightforward. This is obviously for the experts. So this article and this website is specifically aimed at people who like the enjoy biology or chemistry. Oh, go back one. Okay, so the audience here is very, very specific. Okay, so maybe the non-expert reader is not included in this type of text. Okay, so that is something that you've got to keep in mind, that not all of the key conventions are going to be in the exact piece of text that you're viewing. Okay, it presents, so this is the tenses that I was talking to you guys about, okay? So presents ideas in the present tense to explain the current situation, okay? And I looked at this for a while, okay? You know, so it's like differences in GABA were, that's kind of past, one obvious place to look for answers. So, you know, is this past or present? while previous studies already had. Okay, so here we've got changes in tenses. We've got some perfect tenses in here with that had. But measure definitely tells me that this is past tense. Okay, so the first two paragraphs, there's aspects of present and present tense and past mix. This paragraph in the middle, or at least the sentence in the middle, is far more past tense, kind of giving that contextual detail, filling in some of the background information. But this is part of the actual text. So this was actually part of a paragraph in itself. And if you actually pause and have a look, you'll see that there is a mixture of present tense and past tense throughout this text. Okay. And then we have the future tense. Okay. And as I said to you guys, normally towards the end of the text, you basically might have something that's in the future saying what they want to do further. So this one says that they say such differences in maturation rates between brain regions and functions should be examined in detail in future studies. So they're talking about what they want to do in the future. So this is normally how you would end an article so that your audience knows where the text is, where the information, what's going to happen, what to anticipate, what will go on in the future. Okay, so we've really got to think about, your past tense, your present tense, your future tense, and when to use those sentences effectively. It really is sometimes like going back to the future. Whoa, let's change. Okay. Getting a bit dizzy here. Okay. So texts that are usually written in the first person. Okay. Now, this text was not written in the first person. So again, fail, we didn't meet that key convention. But remember that not all the key conventions are going to be in every single text. And this is important. Okay. And I don't think that fail is always a bad thing. Okay. I mean, I always think that fail means first attempt in learning. Okay. So I see it as a positive thing. However, okay, these texts sometimes can be less personal than persuasive texts. Okay. And again, we take a look at this piece of text. Okay. And it does seem, in some ways less personal in the way that they're writing. Okay, there's not that personal perspective, not that personal point of view in the writing here. Okay, so if you have a look, okay, these texts and that, I mean, they're using an expert witness, one Taba added. That could be quite persuasive. Or the fact that they use phrases like they say or they also want. Those could be considered as persuasive effects. Okay, but remember, guys, these things are not that set in stone. Okay, these are things we expect to see and things that we want to create in our own writing. Okay, so if you have a look at the texts and you compare lots of different types of text to these key conventions, okay, you're going to be mind blown as to how many of these key conventions you will actually find in any different text type. Pick up a newspaper, listen to a news broadcast on TV, okay? They're going to include many of these key conventions in your own writing. So I want to say special thanks to SciTech Daily, okay, where I got the article, to the Metro for that picture of newsworthy events. Obviously a reference to the people who put the article together. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, please share my videos, okay, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Okay, my videos are getting a lot of likes, so please don't forget to subscribe. And I want to say a very, very special thanks to you guys. Okay, you guys are basically inspiring me to make more videos, so thank you very, very much to you guys. Okay, so keep on studying, rewatch the videos if you need to watch the videos, drop any questions you have down underneath. I will have a couple of links in that underneath as well. But you guys are absolutely awesome. Rock on, guys.